Yes.
Well, Kiwana,
And
right? Was Kiwana the oldest? Is she the oldest, or you have one over her? Not Kiwana. I'm sorry. Lael. Is Lael the oldest?
yeah, she is the oldest, but she's
Okay.
actually, yes, but she's actually my stepdaughter. So it's my son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my son, yeah. So the middle child, yes, he's my first baby
Okay. And
coming
how old is
out,
he?
and he just turned 4 at the end of July.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Okay.
And then, yes. And then I got to birth another miracle. So just in case, thought this was a fluke,
Right. Right.
which was another thing going in, when you go into a relationship and, you know, yes, I am her mom. And then
Yeah.
unfortunately, she doesn't, her mom has passed away. But, uh, even though, which she had sickle cell. So she,
Mm-mm.
and that was also something that made me nervous. Her mom died
Right.
from a sickness, me having the history that I have,
Right.
having to make the decision to take care of myself and my children and not
Right.
having her with another mom that's not around, is,
Right. Right.
yeah. But,
Wow, that is so powerful. That is so
yeah.
powerful. So, of course, your mind has changed now that you're going to fight until the bitter end. Now that you have these three miracles in your
Yes.
house, but man, you've been what is it, 14 years remission? How many? 18 years remission?
18, yes,
Oh my
yes. I
God!
just
What is it?
I
14
checked and
years
I didn't even
remission?
realize
How
how
many?
long it
18 years
been. It's
remission?
I was
18, yes. Oh my
diagnosed
gosh!
January of
I checked and
2004.
I didn't even realize how long
My
it been.
last
I was
chemotherapy
diagnosed
treatment, because they caught
January
it
of
early,
2004.
was
Yeah.
in August
My
of
last
2004.
chemotherapy four. Okay. And it's
Yes.
been smooth sailing ever since, outside of the just getting back strong and all that. But it's
Well,
been okay. So
mm,
yeah, let's talk about any other health issues you've had because of that.
strong
And all that.
yes. So
But it's
I
been
did end up with a
so yeah,
blood
let's talk about
clot
any other
in
health
my
issues
left
you've had
leg
because
where
of
I
that.
had to be hospitalized,
Okay.
which was another concern when I got pregnant. I had to go on the blood thinners and the
Yeah.
pills. So, but yeah, I did end up having a blood clot with the swelling of the leg. So I was hospitalized. Yes,
Okay.
thankfully.
Okay.
So it may have just been a lot of stress that I was under at that time, where that was kind of happening. But yeah, but they told me, if I feel any kind of numbness, to go to the hospital right away, because
Immediately.
it could be a clot and it travels to my brain, that I would die
Mhm.
instantly.
Right.
And mind you, when I had this leg clot, I didn't go to the doctor till Friday. It swelled up on Monday, and I
Wow.
was working out a lot then. Like I was in the gym like 5, 6 days a week for
Right.
hours, working out, and I was fit, looking good, myself. And I
Right.
had
Right.
gotten back, it was 2013. I was like, this is my
Right.
13, so I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
okay. And yeah, so my legs swelled up, and I'm thinking like I just
Right.
aggravated
Right.
it. I'm sitting in the sauna like, oh, it'll go down. So
Right.
yes, and it did not. And I didn't go to my doctor until Friday.
Right.
Drove over there and I called my mom and I'm like, oh, I need you to come pick me up. My doctor said that I have a blood clot and I need to go to the hospital right away. And of course,
Wow.
she's breaking every speed law
I
known to
know, to get to her
man.
child. Right.
To get there to me, I had to leave my car at the
I
doctor's
know, to
office.
get to her
And
child.
yeah,
Right.
and then in, what was it, 2016, we were in Costco and my mom's looking at my leg and she's like, why is it swollen? And so we had to sit down at the optometry in Costco, and then she
Right.
had to take me to the hospital then. So yeah, so I've
Okay.
I've had some setbacks. So yeah,
Right.
so
Okay.
it's been 18 years for her. It's been more like four, 4 years that she feels like she could say that I've kind of been out of the woods. Yes.
Right. 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 So
Yeah.
does this particular cancer run in your family?
No, what I was told was that it was common in my age group. So a lot of what they were
Oh,
saying in the video was kind of true of like,
okay.
yes, you can get it like if you have a family history, but at
Hmm.
that time they said that it was common in my age group and they really couldn't tell me what caused it.
Oh, okay.
So, a lot of my health issues since I've been diagnosed with Hodgkin's
Oh,
has been
okay.
a lot of unexplained things. When I had the
Oh,
blood clot, they couldn't tell me how that happened, even though I had
right,
enlarged lymph nodes in that leg.
right,
They
right,
said that the Hodgkin's didn't come back, but it
right,
was enlarged, and
right.
I did have a clot. I was also peeing blood at the same time, and they
Ooh,
said that the blood in the urine and my leg
ooh.
didn't have anything to do with each other. And so, me, of course, I don't have a medical degree, but my mind
Right.
is thinking, if these are happening
At the
literally at
same
the same
time.
time,
Right.
but they're not connected, I don't
At
know.
the
I
same
don't know.
time.
So
Yeah.
it didn't make sense to
Ah,
me in my mind, but I'm like, okay, but it's still, you can't tell me how it happened.
yeah.
So
Right.
I'm not going to rule it out because you can't tell me how it happened. So to me, it's
Right.
all connected because if you don't
Right.
know how it happened and you don't know how the blood clot happened, you don't know how the blood in the urine happened. So
Right.
to me, something's going on in my body and you guys just haven't pinpointed it yet
Right. Right. Right.
of,
Right.
of what this situation is. But they ran all of their tests that they knew they
Right.
can
Right.
run. I
Right.
saw
Right.
a urologist and everything, and to this day nobody can tell me how I got the cancer, why I had the clot, why I had the urine
Wow.
thing. Like none of it. It's just kind of like, well, you're healthy now, so
Right. Right. So that was my next question. So right now you would say that you're pretty healthy?
yes. So I
Okay.
actually
So that
haven't
was my next
needed
question. So
to
right now you would say that you're pretty healthy?
even though obviously it's great to still keep up, with your checkups, but it hasn't been so much of a need that I, have to go to, my oncologist every year to check in because, everything's been great.
Right.
Um, I did have a little cyst, but it ended up going away on its own.
Right.
So I was actually going to
Okay.
have surgery for that, and that kind of went away. But yeah,
Okay.
but ever since, yeah, after 2017, yeah, I haven't
Okay.
really had any issues. Everything's been great. Like I said, delivered two healthy boys.
Yeah. 5 years clean, you should say. 5 years, like 5 years, nothing. So what
Yeah.
would you tell a person that's going through what you've gone through? What would you wish you had did differently now looking back?
I would say to not give up on yourself, to definitely don't take the word of a professional when you know something's wrong. It's
Right.
keep fighting for yourself. Get a second
Right.
opinion. Now, I was young. I didn't know what my resources were. And
Gotcha.
I would say seek out your resources. You know, get an advocate, an ally,
Right.
so that you can find out. If nothing is wrong, that's great, that's awesome, but you got to verify it.
Right.
But
Right.
never let someone tell you something against your instincts when it's screaming at you that this is not right. Just keep
Right.
fighting, just keep fighting for yourself, and be diligent. You have to,
Right.
because not everybody is always going to act in your best interest. And I don't
Right.
think that they were being malicious. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that it's one of those situations of they did the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do
And
you think it was because they didn't think you had insurance initially? Or do you think it was just regardless, whether you had insurance or not, that they did the bare minimum?
I think it was just regardless
Okay.
because, even after that, they
Okay.
still had conflicting, information of, yeah, they're kind of seeing this on the test. And I don't even know what all tests they ran. I just know
Okay.
when my internist ran her test,
Right.
she immediately saw it that one time. It
One
didn't take
time.
several times to need to look at
Right.
this.
Wow.
So they saw this right away. So I just think that,
Wow.
it's an emergency room. Like I didn't have, a set doctor that I was seeing,
Mm-hmm.
in LA at the time where
Okay.
they could say, you know, hey,
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't look right. Like
Right.
you
Gotcha.
dropped 20
20
pounds
pounds.
in the course of a week, in 10 days.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Oh wow, that weight dropped just in that short amount of time?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like
So they didn't even pick up on that. So they, because they're supposed to weigh you every time you come into the hospital. So they didn't even pick up on the weight loss.
I was already so thin by then that I don't think it changed very much. So I
Okay.
think it was another one of those things where they probably thought I was anorexic or bulimic or something, and
Off the bat. Right.
you know,
Okay.
they were just like, oh, it has to be an eating disorder or something that I wasn't saying, or maybe I was on drugs.
Right.
I'm a young black kid too, as well. I
Right.
have to take that into consideration. Like, we're in
Right.
LA, and I'm a college
Yeah.
student. I'm also a black female, and so who knows what the prejudice? They may not have any, or they may have had it. Or, they were
Right.
just emergency rooms are busy and filled, and they're dealing with this kid, and who
Right.
knows if
Right.
they're getting all the information from me. So they're gonna tell me, okay, the bare minimum. But
Right.
emergency rooms, unless you get a really great doctor who is advocating for you, they're not your doctor. So
Yeah.
they are not equipped to run tests that your particular doctor has to run. So even when you go to
Okay.
the hospital, they still wait for your doctor to show up to run
Oh.
extra tests. So your doctor has to order certain tests to be taken anyway. So that's why
Wow.
I said
Okay.
I think that I mean, unless you have an advocate, unless you have a doctor ordering things on your behalf, they did the bare minimum, so they were never going to catch it.
Wow. Well, they caught it, and so you are, of course, in remission. So, how long did it take you to get back in school, finish your degree, and then get married and have your kids? So, was it like back to back to back?
Uh, no, not really, because I ended up, let's see, so about a year later, I got to
Mm-hmm.
go back and finish my undergraduate degree
Okay.
um, for that. So I finished my bachelor's, and then
Mm-hmm.
there was a year break in between before I went back to get my master's degree.
Okay.
And then I finished that. I didn't meet my husband until 2016.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's close.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So he actually was there with one of my what? Yeah. So my last two stints going to the hospital, we had
Okay.
just gotten together, and
Okay.
I remember texting him saying, "Hey,
Okay.
at the hospital in the emergency room, leg swelled up. Everything is fine. Let you know what happened. Kid you not, later, he's like flying through the door. And I'm like,
Right.
everything is fine, but that was one of the things where I knew I had a keeper then. We were just freshly dating, and he was just,
Yeah.
you know, he showed
Completely
up to
changed.
me. Yeah.
Right.
He
Right.
showed up, he
Cared.
was there at my side, and he was just like, no, you said you were in the hospital.
That's all
I'm
I need to
gonna take
hear.
right. He stopped listening after
Right.
that, and he showed up, and yeah, so he was there, and he
Wow.
sat by my bedside and held my hand the whole time. So
Right. And you mentioned, so you told him obviously you weren't sure if you can have children, and so he didn't care. He just loved
no,
you
he
enough to
just
just go for it.
yeah. I mean, he gave me all of the okay. Well, we'll try the other paths. We'll
Right.
try the in vitro, or we'll adopt. And he's like, as long as I get to have a family with you, and which is it's comforting, but still as a woman,
Yeah.
with that, this is my role. This is the
Hmm.
one thing that I'm supposed to be able to give you as a woman. And, with him already having a child, it's just
Hmm.
kind of like, for me not to be able to birth a child of, ours is,
Hmm.
would be really, really rough and tough. And it was just kind of like, this might break me if I can't give you kids,
Oh.
like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to emotionally handle that. And
Okay. Did you go into prayer, or what did you do before you or so in your mind? Did you say, okay, I'm gonna have kids, Lord, you're gonna have to work this out? Or did you just kind of like, was it like a Hail Mary? Like, Lord, please. Bless me. Bless me,
it was
Father.
more like a please, like, Lord, I mean, you know what's gonna happen, you know the desires of my heart. I am just
Right.
praying that this is what you have for me. Like, please, like, I
Hmm.
don't, I'm not gonna take this well. Like, you already know me, you know that I'm not gonna
Right.
take this well. Like, please, the desires of my heart. I just, and
Right.
it's like months and months, and like I'm crying, and it's just like, and then to finally get the confirmation, and it was still one of those like, okay,
Are you?
until we go to the doctor. But I mean, like, he was like overjoyed, and then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, we went to the doctor, and
Yeah.
I was already scheduled for my yearly checkup.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went there, I told her, oh, by the way, I need a pregnancy
Mm-hmm.
test. And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. But I thought I was gonna have to I don't know, like, wait for like the urine test or something or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Did they do blood tests or what kind of test did they do? Blood?
Um no, I think they just did the urine test. Like,
Urine test. Okay.
the urine test. And so I told her, like, oh, we're waiting for a pregnancy test. But she just was like, oh, okay, well, let's see. So I don't know if she already like looked at, or like what happened, but she just went to the machine, and she did a little wand thing over my belly, and she
Yeah.
goes, oh yeah, you're pregnant. It's right there, and the little dot, and and she turns up the machine, and you can hear the heartbeat, and it's a little like we have
What?
Yes, I completely forgot to tell you. Like, yes, I could have showed you the
How
video.
far along were you at that point? Would you?
I mean, it was the dot, like, literally within
You can
the
hear the
10 days
heartbeat.
of, like, yeah, this was, and it's literally like on the little screen, it's this
Yeah.
big, it's this little dot. It's not a person, not anything, just a pulse,
Yeah.
and you can hear the heart. And she was like, yeah, this little heart right there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm pulsing. Yeah.
Wow. Was your husband there with you, or did you like have to call him after you left the
No, no, no.
appointment?
He was there. He took me because we were trying to get it confirmed.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was
Okay.
there sitting with me, yeah, for us to
Did he pass out, or
find.
what did he do? Did you get
No,
that on
no, no.
video?
He was excited. No, he was like super excited. He's
Oh,
the one who
okay.
he's the one who recorded the screen. So he was there
Oh,
with the camera. He was
wow.
recording the screen. So he was more excited than I was. I was sitting there, and I was nervous, and the hands there, and he was taking photos and video the whole time we were there. So he was like waiting, yeah, waiting to find out. So yeah, he was more excited than I was. So I
What a
was still like kind
blessing.
of like in shock, like this is, really happening. And he's just like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
right.
That is a blessing, man. So during that time, were you like doing a health regimen, taking vitamins when you were trying to get pregnant? Were you living a really healthy lifestyle during that time? Would
So
you
yeah,
say?
so after during that period of, what was it, 2012
Mm-hmm.
on,
Mm-hmm.
because we had already, when I got diagnosed, we had already started to change, my diet and what I was eating to, be,
Mm-hmm.
healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And after my mom and I joined the UFC gym, we started to, work out, because she wanted to get healthy, and she used to be a bodybuilder. So, she, with us
What?
being, yes, she had ended up gaining some, she had gained some weight, and that's how I was so fit in school. She had me running bleachers in high school. So she was no
Wow.
stranger to being healthy. Yes. So yeah. So she
Okay,
was a
mom.
right, yes. It was a hobby. She
Wow.
never did any competitions, but it was just kind of her hobby when she was going through paralegal school.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so she was working out and bodybuilding. So when we got back into it after I was done with my master's degree, and we just started trying to focus on getting healthy and fit again, and going to the gym, and
Yeah.
that's when we got into a really, really strict diet. Like, we were working with a trainer. Like, we had
See.
cut out dairy.
Yep, that's the biggest thing. Cutting out. Yep.
Yeah, we cut out the salts, sugars.
Yep, that's
oils.
the biggest thing. Cutting out.
Um,
Yep. Oh wow.
yeah, we only had our vegetables. We had baked chicken
Oh wow.
or turkey. So yeah, so nothing fried, nothing breaded, and what else? We didn't even have fruit for a while. We added in fruit kind of later into our
Right.
meals just because of the sugars, but that
Yeah.
initial kind of like shedding the pounds and weight and from our bodies.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what our regimen on. We had oatmeal for breakfast. You know,
Yeah.
we did the egg whites,
Mm-hmm.
and this was obviously before I went vegan.
Right. Right.
And we did
Wow.
that for 3 months, and then so yeah, so I was already, so when we
Right.
decided to go vegan because our
Wow.
daughter had stomach issues, when
Mm-hmm.
I was pregnant with our last son, he, yeah, that whole time I was vegan. So
See, yeah,
yeah.
I keep hearing the same thing. So this is something for people out there that's trying to conceive. Tracy Evans Dixon, who was on last week, talked about the same thing. That she was having trouble conceiving, and she was 44, and
Mhm.
she just went to a holistic doctor, had her body completely cleaned out, and bam, bam, within did she say 60 days or something? She was pregnant with Tyson, her son. So that goes to show you that eating right and eating healthy really does
Yeah.
work. It really does work for those of you
Yes,
who are trying to
yes.
conceive
So
and
yeah,
also
no, it was
touch on
awesome. It
everything
was
else.
4 months with my first
Mhm.
son. My second son, not as long. I think it was more like two.
See?
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow.
So definitely, yeah. But I was taking the vitamins and trying to get all that, and like several different vitamins, trying to make sure I had the multivitamins. I was taking, so I was already taking the prenatals because they say
Yeah.
that's good for doing that before, and then
Right.
trying to do the omegas. I was the B12, and what else is the other one? The biotin. So I have
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
many different, vitamins that I was, taking and, trying to
Mm-hmm.
put into
Yeah.
my body so that I was, and
Right.
still, making sure that I had a good regimen during and after.
Right.
It's also great for, milk production and, breastfeeding and all that. So
Right.
I was
Right. Right.
thankful and very blessed to be able to breastfeed both.
Breastfeed.
Yes. Which I was
Right.
worried about that too, because I've heard stories, of some women not being able to, or the baby's not latching right.
Latching.
So yeah, and so I was,
Oh.
yeah, and
I
that's
love these stories. I love these success stories. Oh,
yeah.
come
So
on. This hour is almost up. God, this
yeah,
time is going by. It's like your mom. Like, yeah, it seemed like it's the time is it's interesting when you were having fun. I guess they say that when you're having fun, time just flies by.
right,
You look up and say, no, it's only been 10 minutes. Look up, no, it's an hour.
right,
But
exactly.
this has been amazing, amazing. So, is there anything that you want to leave the viewers with? Because this is going out all over the world. And we definitely want to leave a message of believing in yourself and, of course,
Yes.
healing through our amazing Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But what is it that you would like people to know? I know you mentioned don't give up on yourself. Anything else?
Yes, yes. Be an advocate for yourself. Trust your instincts, definitely. I would say take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go vegan like I did. Vegan was the right path for me. It made me
Mm-hmm.
feel better.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, even for my family, a lot of the stomach issues that they had, they gotten better after being vegan. But you don't have to go vegan. You can just incorporate different vegan options just to make
Mm-hmm.
yourself healthier. It's all about
Right.
substituting healthier choices.
Right.
It's, hey, no one's saying that you can't ever have that deep fried dish that you love, but
Right.
you
Right.
can't have it all the time.
Fine. Right.
It doesn't
Don't
even
eat
need
the
to
whole
be
gallon of ice cream, guys. Don't eat the whole
right,
gallon. You can have
right,
some, but not the whole
yes.
gallon. Wow.
Exactly. Doesn't need to be a overflow, but just, take care of yourself. Make those changes so
Mm-hmm.
that you don't have to permanently cut things out because it's gotten so bad. If you are
Right.
proactive now,
Right.
then it won't be so bad later. just, and even those little things that they tell you to incorporate, it does make a difference. Try to take the stairs instead of always taking the elevator.
Right, right.
Go for simple walks, even if it's, you're just walking around the block,
Yep.
or, if you're at an apartment, walking around that little patch of grass that you have, just
Yep.
simple,
Yep.
all those little things, that I try to do. I walked when I was pregnant. Like I would, walk across the street, go to the store, walk back. One time I couldn't make it and I had to thankfully we have a shuttle and I was
Yeah,
picked
yeah.
up by the shuttle and taken back because I was too fat to walk myself back.
But you were trying. That's the
Yes,
key. You were trying. That's good. That's so
those little
good.
steps, just invest in yourself. Take care of
Right.
yourself. Listen to
Right.
your body. Have those regular checkups with your doctors. Do not neglect those, because you
That's
missed
it.
that 1 year, and that could be the 1 year that could have made the difference between saving your life or keeping yourself from jumping to the next stage. Because if I wasn't
Right.
doing it, I could have easily been in stage 2 or 3 or whatever it
Right.
was,
Right. Right. Oh,
prolonging.
that's so good. That
Yes,
is
so
so good and that is
please
so true.
keep up. Yes, mark it on your calendar whenever those appointments come by. Like, don't miss them. Reschedule them. Jump back in. It's not as painful if you keep up with it. You won't have to do as much. I won't say everything's gonna come back 100% every time, because I don't know. I'm not
Right.
God, but when we're doing our part, God shows up for us.
Yes, he
So
does.
we have to just do our part. Whatever your spiritual sources, whatever your journey, tap into it, stay connected, and just do your part for your mind, your body, your spiritual journey, all of it. And
Right. Right.
you you will thank yourself later. Like it
Right.
just makes a difference. I made a commitment and I said that I was going to do this, and I've stuck with it, and I feel better. I do.
That's good. And we can tell, we can tell, man, this has been an amazing story. So thank you so much for coming back and allowing us to come inside of your intimate space with such a personal testimony. And we're hoping that someone out there would be blessed. So again, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. If you're having a more private or a question that you're not comfortable with in the comment section, you're more than welcome to email me and I'll make sure Kawana gets it. That's Zandra S. and Sam Wilson at yahoo.com. It's my name that's on the screen. Just put an S in between the Zandra and S, and then it's at Yahoo. And I'll get it to my sister, and she will get back to you with whatever answer. If she can answer it, obviously she will. Again, like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share this video for anyone that you know that need a blessing, that needs a healing, that needs some encouragement, that it is not over. Just because you're diagnosed with something, it does not mean that that's the end. So that's why I'm having these interviews and people coming on talking about their personal journey. So, well, thank you guys. Thank you so much, Kawana, for joining
Thank you for having me.
so much. This is amazing, amazing, amazing. So, guys, again, next week, join us. We're going to have another guest on that's going to talk about her story and how she's overcome. Again, October is Cancer Awareness Month. And if you have any stories, you can upload them in the Healthier Church Challenge group. And we'd love to hear them. We would love to hear them. I will just, all you have to do is upload the video, and, we're going to screen some of the videos, obviously, make sure that they're on point. And then we just upload them and let everyone else hear and see your story. Okay? All right. Until next time. See you. Okay. Okay. All right. Until next time. See you. Okay. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in the room. Come on, come on, come on. In the room. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Well, as you know, this is Childhood Obesity Month. I am your teacher for these particular series, Zandra Wilson. I'm the health and wellness instructor and director for Calvary Baptist Church of Hawthorne. I'm so excited to be here teaching these classes and bringing you just a little bit of knowledge, just a little bit. I don't know a whole lot, but just a